There's something happening inside millions of senior bodies right now, and most people have absolutely no idea it's going on. You drink your water. Maybe you even carry a bottle with you everywhere you go. You think you're doing everything right, but here's what nobody is telling you. Drinking water and actually being hydrated are two completely different things. And the number one sign that your body is struggling, that it's quietly sending out a distress signal, is something so ordinary, so easy to dismiss, that most people brush it off as just getting older. But it isn't just aging, it's your body asking for help. And if you miss this sign, the consequences can be serious. Confusion, falls, kidney trouble, heart strain, and worse. So stay right here, because what you're about to hear could genuinely change how you feel every single day. Let me tell you about a woman named Margaret. She was 71 years old, lived alone in a quiet neighborhood in Ohio, and by every measure, she thought she was taking good care of herself. She drank 2 glasses of water in the morning, had her tea in the afternoon, and maybe a glass with dinner. She figured that was enough. But for months, she had been feeling off, tired all the time, a little foggy in the head. Her joints ached more than usual. She kept telling her daughter, "I just feel like I'm dragging." She figured it was her age. Her doctor ran some tests and came back with something Margaret never expected to hear. "You're chronically dehydrated." Margaret was stunned. She said, "But I drink water every day." And her doctor said something that stopped her cold. Drinking water isn't the same as your body absorbing and using it the right way. That distinction, that one quiet difference, is exactly what we're going to talk about today. And I promise you, by the time we're done, you will understand your body better than most people twice as educated on this subject. You'll know what to watch for. You'll know what's actually going wrong. And you'll know what simple steps can make a real difference starting today. Before we go further, if you're new here, welcome. This is Dr. Silas Redford Wellness, and this channel exists for one reason: to give you honest, clear, and genuinely useful health information that helps you live better, feel stronger, and age with real dignity. If that means something to you, take a second right now and hit that subscribe button. And if you've been with us for a while, a like on this video helps more people find this information when they need it most. Now let's get into this. So what is the number one sign that your body is dehydrated, even when you're drinking water? It isn't dry mouth. It isn't dark urine. Those are real signals, yes, but most seniors already know about those. The sign that almost everyone misses, the one that doctors don't spend nearly enough time explaining, is persistent, unexplained fatigue. Not the tired you feel after a long day, not the tired that goes away after a good night's sleep. I'm talking about a deep, dull, heavy kind of tiredness that sits in your body like a weight you can't put down. The kind where you wake up already feeling worn out, where afternoons feel impossible, where you just can't seem to get your energy back no matter how much you rest. And here's the part that shocks most people. That kind of fatigue isn't always about sleep. It isn't always about your iron levels or your thyroid. In seniors especially, one of the most overlooked and most common causes of that bone-deep exhaustion is chronic low-grade dehydration, not severe dehydration, not the emergency kind, just a slow, quiet, ongoing deficit that your body has been running on for weeks, months, or even years without you ever realizing it. But why does dehydration cause fatigue? Most people think of water as just something that keeps you from being thirsty. But water is the foundation of almost every process your body runs. Your blood needs the right water balance to carry oxygen efficiently to your muscles and your brain. Your kidneys need water to filter waste without working themselves ragged. Your digestive system, your joints, your heart, your lungs, all of them depend on adequate hydration to do their jobs properly. When your water levels drop even slightly below what your body needs, everything starts to slow down. Your heart has to work harder to pump thicker, less fluid blood. Your muscles don't get oxygen as efficiently. Your brain, which is roughly 75% water, starts to feel the drag, and your body, trying to conserve what little fluid it has, pulls back on energy. The result? That exhausted, foggy, heavy feeling that so many seniors just accept as a normal part of getting older. Here's something that most doctors won't take the time to explain during a short office visit. As we age, our sense of thirst actually diminishes. The mechanism that's supposed to signal your brain and say, "Hey, you need water," it gets weaker and slower. So by the time you actually feel thirsty as an older adult, your body may already be running behind. You're not failing to drink water because you're careless. You're drinking based on how you feel, and your feelings just aren't giving you accurate signals anymore. That's the biological reality of aging that nobody talks about enough. And then there's a second layer to this problem, and this one surprises almost everyone who hears it for the first time. Even when you do drink water, your body's ability to absorb and retain it changes with age. The cells in older bodies don't hold on to water the same way younger cells do. Certain medications, blood pressure medications, diuretics, antihistamines, even some common supplements, pull water from your system faster than you might be replacing it. Your kidneys become less efficient at concentrating urine, meaning more fluid leaves the body even when you're not drinking a lot. And if your diet is high in sodium, which is very common in American processed foods, your body is constantly trying to flush out excess salt, and it pulls water along with it. So you could be drinking what feels like a reasonable amount of water and still be running low. That's the quiet trap that Margaret fell into. That's the trap that millions of seniors are in right now without knowing it. Now let's talk about the other signs that show up alongside that deep fatigue, because dehydration doesn't just send one signal. It sends a whole cluster of them, and when you know what to look for, the picture becomes much clearer. Mild confusion or mental fogginess that comes and goes. That's one. If you find yourself reading the same sentence twice, forgetting what you walked into a room for more often than usual, or feeling like your thoughts are moving through thick mud, that could be your brain running low on the hydration it needs to function clearly. Researchers have found that even a 1 to 2% drop in body water levels can measurably affect cognitive performance, especially in older adults. Muscle cramps, especially in the legs and feet at night, are another signal. When your electrolyte balance is off, and electrolytes go hand in hand with hydration, your muscles don't fire and relax the way they're supposed to. That cramping, that tightening in your calves at 2 in the morning, often isn't just random. Headaches that linger without a clear cause. Dizziness when you stand up too fast, which doctors call orthostatic hypotension, skin that feels drier or less elastic than it used to. Constipation that won't resolve no matter how much fiber you eat. Joints that ache and feel stiff. All of these can be connected to that same invisible deficit. And the worst part is, many seniors are treating these symptoms one by one. A cream for the dry skin, a laxative for the constipation, pain medication for the joints, without ever realizing they might all have one common root: hydration. Now, let's break a myth right here. You've probably heard the advice to drink 8 glasses of water a day. Maybe you've tried to hit that goal, but the honest truth is, that number is not based on solid science for everyone. Your actual hydration needs depend on your body weight, your activity level, the climate you live in, the medications you take, the foods you eat, and several other individual factors. A blanket number like 8 glasses doesn't account for any of that. And for some seniors, 8 glasses of plain water might not even be the right kind of hydration. Here's what most people don't know. Plain water, especially when drunk in large quantities without any food or electrolytes alongside it, can sometimes wash through your system faster than your body can use it. Your body needs a certain ratio of sodium, potassium, and other minerals working alongside water to pull that fluid into your cells where it actually does its job. When that balance is off, you can drink and still feel the effects of dehydration because the water isn't staying where it needs to stay. This is exactly what happened with a retired teacher named Harold from Georgia. He was 74 and had been told by his doctor to drink more fluids, so Harold started drinking more water than ever, 3 liters some days, and yet he still felt terrible. Still exhausted, still mentally foggy, still cramping at night. What nobody had explained to Harold was that his medications were depleting his potassium levels, which meant his cells couldn't hold on to water properly. Adding more water without addressing the electrolyte imbalance was like pouring water into a bucket with holes in the bottom. The solution for Harold wasn't just more water, it was smarter hydration, working with his doctor to balance his electrolytes, adjusting what he ate, adding certain foods that supported his fluid retention, and spacing his water intake differently throughout the day. And here is where the real knowledge starts to build. Because once you understand that hydration is about balance, not just volume, everything changes. So let's talk about what actually works. The first thing to understand is timing. Your body absorbs and uses water more effectively when you drink it consistently throughout the day, rather than in large amounts at once. Think of it like watering a plant. Pouring the entire week's water all at once doesn't help. Most of it runs off, but a little regularly allows the roots to actually absorb what they need. For seniors especially, spacing water intake, a glass when you wake up, a glass mid-morning, a glass with lunch, mid-afternoon, with dinner, and a small amount before bed, works far better than trying to catch up all at once. The second thing is temperature. Most people don't think about this, but room temperature or slightly warm water is actually absorbed more efficiently than ice-cold water in many cases. Cold water can cause your body to divert energy to warming it before it can process it. This is a small thing, but it adds up, If you've been drinking cold water all day and still feeling off, try switching to room temperature and see how your body responds. The third thing, and this one matters enormously for seniors, is the role of food and hydration. Many of the most hydrating substances on Earth aren't drinks, they're foods. Cucumbers are about 96% water. Watermelon is around 92%. Celery, strawberries, oranges, lettuce, zucchini, all of these are incredibly hydrating, and they also carry natural electrolytes that help your body use that moisture effectively. If eating large amounts of food feels difficult, broths and soups are an excellent option. They hydrate, they deliver sodium in a form your body handles well, and they're gentle on digestion. The fourth thing is watching what depletes you. Caffeine is a mild diuretic. It pulls a little extra water out of your system. For some people, 2 or 3 cups of coffee a day doesn't cause a problem. For others, especially those who aren't drinking much else, it tips the balance. Alcohol does the same, more aggressively. High sodium foods, processed meats, canned soups with excessive salt, fast food, these all increase your body's water needs without adding to your supply. Knowing your personal drains helps you understand why you might be running low, even when you think you're doing enough. And the fifth thing, talk to your doctor. Specifically, ask about your medications. Ask whether any of what you're taking might be affecting your hydration or your electrolyte levels. Ask whether you should be supplementing with electrolytes, whether that means a small amount of a clean electrolyte powder, eating more potassium-rich foods like bananas and sweet potatoes, or adjusting your sodium intake. These are conversations most doctors would love to have but often don't get to in a 15-minute appointment. You have to ask the question. Let me share one more story that puts all of this together. A man named Earl from Tennessee was 78 years old when he came to see a specialist after months of feeling, in his words, like a deflated version of himself. He'd had falls, which his family blamed on his balance. He'd had mental fog, which they worried might be early dementia. He'd been exhausted, achy, and miserable. After a thorough evaluation that included blood work and a review of his diet and fluid intake patterns, the doctor identified something straightforward. Earl was chronically dehydrated, significantly low in potassium, and running an electrolyte imbalance that had been building for over a year. Within 6 weeks of a structured hydration plan, specific fluids at specific times, adjusted food choices, an electrolyte supplement recommended by his doctor, and one medication adjustment, Earl's family described him as a different person. The fog cleared. The cramping mostly stopped. His energy came back. He hadn't needed a new diagnosis. He hadn't needed an expensive treatment. He needed what so many seniors need and never get. Someone to look at the whole picture and ask the simple question, is your body getting what it actually needs? Here's what I want you to carry with you from everything we've talked about today. Fatigue that lingers, mental fog that won't lift, cramps, headaches, dizziness, dry skin, constipation, aching joints. These things are not just the price of getting older. Your body is not broken. It may simply be running on empty in a way that's entirely fixable. The most powerful changes often come from the most basic places: water, timing, balance, food, a conversation with your doctor. These are not small things when they've been neglected for a long time. They are the foundation. You deserve to feel clear and energized and comfortable in your body, not just tolerate your days, but actually live them. And the fact that you're here, watching this, learning this, tells me that you're exactly the kind of person who isn't willing to just accept feeling bad. Good. Don't accept it. Ask the questions. Make the changes. Give your body the chance to respond. If something in this video resonated with you, if you recognized yourself in Margaret's story, or Harold's, or Earl's, please leave a comment below. Tell me what you've been experiencing. Tell me if this opened your eyes to something you hadn't considered. Your words matter here, and they help other seniors who are scrolling through and wondering if they're alone in what they're feeling. Share this video with someone you love who might need to hear it. A spouse, a sibling, a friend who keeps saying they're just tired. Sometimes the information that changes everything is just one share away. You are not alone in this, and you are not out of options. Small steps, taken consistently, lead to real change, and that change starts today.